Let's flip to the aforementioned Duke Blue Devils, a team that could essentially get some payback on what Carolina did to them last year by winning that final game of the regular season, maybe keep them out of the NCAA tournament. Duke with a critical home win tonight against NC State. Are we buying the Blue Devils in March? Chris, what do you think?
I'm not. I think that they're a good team. I don't think that their backcourt is necessarily experienced enough with Proctor. I know Roach has been there, but he wouldn't scare me if I were an opposing team in the NCAA tournament. I think Filipowski's a really good player. He's a freshman. He has foot speed issues when he goes against talented fours. So I think Duke's a good team, but I don't think that they were the overwhelming, talent that everybody talked about coming into the year. And I think that sort of played itself out throughout the season. I think they're a good team. They've been great at home. Coach Shire's done an amazing job as a first-year head coach, especially in the footsteps of Coach K. But I think they're a good team. I just don't see them being a team that can get to a Final Four.
What about you, RC?
I agree. I don't have them as a Final Four team. Coach, you know what I'd like to see their lineup with, though, because I think they've battled injuries, so I don't know if we can really tell like what their ceiling is, like Derek Whitehead's coming in there. But I'd like to see their lineup just for a game of extended minutes with Filipowski at the 5. If they go small ball with Filipowski at the 5, Derek Whitehead at the 4, and then get those 3 guards and get any combination of those 3 guards, because Proctor has size. So if they go with Grandison, any of the third guard or whatever they want with that, I just would like to see that group with the spacing and what because I don't think they shoot it great either. I think they're streaky from behind the line, but that lineup, you put Filipowski at the 5, look out. That's just something I'd like to see.
I completely agree. And again, Shire's doing a tremendous job. So I don't want this to, come across as, hey, this is what he should be doing.
Right.
Because you're taking away the best shot blocker or one of the best shot blockers in the ACC.
Just for a moment of the game or something like that.
But I think they would be impossible to guard if Filipowski played the 5. Now, he'd also might be in a little bit more foul trouble because he's not the strongest guy in the world. And if he had to guard a guy this weekend like Baycott, that could be a real problem. But, you can post trap, you can do things that can alleviate foul trouble. But to RC's point, man, if they played him at the 5, that would be a problem. A lot like a lot of NBA teams are doing now with their 5s.
Yeah, it feels like Shire's got some chess pieces here to move around the board. And I think at points this season, he hasn't had all of his chess pieces fully activated, right? He's had some a little chipped. One maybe's underneath the table, right? Now he's got everything right in front of him. How's he going to move him? Will he pull the right strings? Could certainly make a difference. I want to talk about the team Duke beat tonight. That's NC State, a team that at points this season down the stretch has been safely in our field. Tonight, they lose this game. They are currently projected as an 11 seed, according to our expert bracketologist from the Fielding the 68 show. RC, we just talked about Big 12 teams that have 13 losses in their conference, debating if they should potentially make the NCAA tournament. And NC State has 9 losses on the year, and we're talking they're one little smidge away from being out of the field. Do you think that that's fair, or are they deserving of a clear NCAA tournament bid?
I think they're in. I think there's a couple of teams here in this league. I mean, I think Duke's in. I think NC State's in. Miami, Virginia. I think Pitt's in. I don't think that there's even much.
They better be there. They're first in the ACC right now.
but they're talking about you drew one game, and I'll tell you another team I think will end up being in there. I think Clemson, when it's all said and done, is a team that's deserving of being in there and capable of beating anybody when they get in there.
Yeah. I'm a big NC State. I'm a big NC State guy. Obviously Jarkel Joyner, I think he got hurt tonight. I don't know how bad that is, but they got some talented guards, Greg.
He's good.
I've told the story too many times. I'm not going to tell it anymore. They can go back to past episodes. But Terquavion Smith, I just think he's the real deal. I think he's an NBA player that's just barely scratching the surface of who he's going to be as a player. They're good. They're good. And I know they're not very consistent, and that happens sometimes with a team that has some young guards, but I think they're in, and I think they could be dangerous in March.
Yeah. Jarkel Joyner, 40 minutes tonight, 26 points, 8 rebounds.
He was so good tonight.
He was fantastic tonight. And Turk did not have his A game. Still, that team very close to winning in Cameron. It would be a shame. I'll just say that. You got to tune back into our Bracketology Show Friday to hear what the experts have to say. But it would be a shame if this team is not safely in the NCAA tournament, because I think they've stacked up the resume to back it up. And I definitely think they are safely one of the top 64 teams in the country.